Okay, so Dr. Jill Stein is back, and she is giving more of her thoughts of what AOC did last week, and that was saying that third parties are a distraction, they're a waste of time, they're going to cause more trouble than good. So Jill Stein just drops the gauntlet and says, AOC, debate me. Now, listen, AOC, I know that you're not going to debate Jill Stein, but I mean, for somebody who had a big, tough talking game all the way back in 2018, you should be up the game for it if you want to. Now, I know, here's the thing. I know that Democrats don't have what it takes to do the right thing. I know that Democrats don't have what it takes to be strong or independent, or either that, have what it takes to actually even fight back or be reasonable. Because let's face it, Democrats have no backbone. They are afraid to debate third parties and independents. They always have been. They always will be. I mean, that's just the truth of it. So I want to pull up this video here in which Jill Stein is calling out AOC and the Democrats and giving more thoughts about what happened last week, in which AOC wanted to vilify third parties. So let's play this video and check it out.
Hi, everybody. I don't know if you noticed, but there was a huge surge of interest in that conversation that AOC Pelosi started about growing Green Party power. And we've only scraped the surface of what really needs to be clarified here. So I want to suggest, actually, how about we continue this in person? I'm sure there are lots of independent journalists out there. Many actually covered this conversation so far. And I'm sure we could continue this live, which would actually be a whole lot more interesting and I think instructive all around. So think about that. Get back to me. In the meantime, I want to clarify several points of misinformation in your video. First, running as a third party. It really doesn't matter whether your party is third, fourth, fifth, or sixth. The question is whether you are an independent alternative, independent of this big money machine that's bought and paid for by corporations and billionaires. Because what good does it do if you're part of the same system and you just have a different name for your party? So from that perspective, I want to say that with all due respect, the party that you say you have run with, the Working Families Party, and no shade against them, but they are not exactly an independent third party. They're big.
Oh, don't tell that to AOC. That bursts her bubbles. After all, AOC hasn't been a big fan of facts because she relies on feelings. Look, if you didn't think that Jill Stein or anybody who's third party or independent would say anything, AOC, then you must be living in another reality. But let's be very clear here. She talked a big game. That's what AOC does on her Instagram live stream or when she does a video. And when you do something like that, AOC, you have to remember that people will snap back, as they should. It is their right to actually say to you, oh, okay, well, then fine. Here's my counter. Now, I know AOC doesn't have the stones to actually debate Jill Stein. I know she will never do that. That's fine. AOC, we already know. You're going to probably be like, oh, I'll never do it. And the thing is, we know you'll never do it because you're scared. Oh, wait, maybe I should be nicer. I'm sorry. AOC, I know that the burden of debating Jill Stein about the merits of third parties would be too much to handle for your schedule. Maybe someday, when you have some time, you might consider it. There. Maybe that's more politically correct to say.
Basically a second ballot line for Democrats. The Working Families, as far as I know, basically run Democrats or independents on their way to becoming Democrats, like former Governor Cuomo of New York State. He ran several times on the Working Families Party while running also on the Democratic Party ballot line. So not exactly an independent alternative. And what's most important is that when you're running in the Working Families Party, you are not under attack by the anti-democratic party with their army of lawyers to throw you off the ballot, their paid infiltrators and spies, their hijacking of public funding. You're not in the universe of independent political alternatives. So you are not the yardstick against which to measure green growth. For that, you really have to compare us to other non-corporate parties, which are not bought and paid for. And if you look at those parties, Greens are actually a huge pillar of strength. Non-corporate parties are generally over and done with within 1 or 2 election cycles after being founded. Like a good example is the Peace and Freedom Party, very similar to the Greens. They were founded before us, actually in the 1960s. They were an anti-Vietnam War party. And they had up to 14 ballot lines across the country. And those ballot lines basically were gone within one or two election cycles. Peace and Freedom Party was beaten back to just one state, California. Greens have managed to hang on to, you know, right now, we'll be on the ballot pretty much across the whole country in this election. And that's what we continue to do and have done now for several decades. Or look at the socialist parties. They were doing great at all levels of government, and they were doing really powerful things and very much, leading the charge for a progressive people powered agenda. And then Democrats and Republicans changed the rules of ballot access to shut them out. These small non-corporate parties are very much at a huge disadvantage, and they're under attack. The Labor Party as well, which was founded at the time of the Greens with far more institutional and financial support, but they could never get past the spoiler smear campaigning and fear campaigning, and they never actually ran candidates. So they were basically dissolved within a decade. The last thing I want to point to is that Greens don't disappear between presidential elections.
I want to add on to that because I've interviewed Green Party candidates who were running in 2018, in 2022, and of course, even afterwards, even in small municipal elections and special elections. I've interviewed Greens, Libertarians, Socialists, non-affiliates who were running for key offices at various levels of government. So, AOC, your opinion about Greens disappearing every 4 years, plus Jill Stein running every 4 years. She didn't run in 2020. Just maybe whoever was advising you on that, or maybe if you chose to look back in time, you would realize that what you said was completely false. But then again, AOC, I know that you're never going to do that. Just like how I know you won't debate Jill Stein or anyone who's third-party affiliate, because it might be just too much for you to do. You have a very, very busy schedule, and that's something you can never do, can you? I know it's too much. It's too much for you to do. There's a word for that. It's called cowardice, too.
Are going strong. What disappears is the press coverage. Don't mistake that, actually, for what we're doing. We are a grassroots party, and we're grassroots activists, and it's absolutely false that we go away. It's also false that we simply focus on the presidential race. In fact, we have elected some 1,500, and we currently have 150 active office holders who've been elected and are actually reelected at pretty high rates. That includes, for example, a city councilor in Portland, Maine, where, not coincidentally, that city council just passed a divestment resolution divesting from the genocide being conducted by Israel with the support of this country. For my part, I have certainly been helping candidates in local and congressional and Senate races. I went to the mat for years as part of Doctors for Assange to help fight for Assange's freedom. And, kudos to everybody who worked on that. I've been fighting to protect public funding, in order to break the stranglehold of corporate money on our elections, fighting for ranked choice voting, which would put an end. It would make impossible spoiled elections, but the Democrats are not interested in doing that. They want to have the spoiler fear in order to, extort your vote. We need ranked choice voting so we can actually vote for who we want and not against, the candidate that we hate the most. That leaves us entirely without a moral compass to direct our vision forward. I've been fighting for Medicare for all, for a real emergency Green New Deal, for rent control, and for so-called social housing. And what have you been fighting for, AOC? Used to hear about some of those issues when you started off, but sure haven't heard you much lately. All right, I hope we can continue this conversation.
Now, I know AOC is too cowardly to actually respond back to that. I know she won't do it. You know what? Hold up. We'll rewind that one more time. Because sometimes it's okay to be mean. Sometimes it's okay to actually snap back. And sometimes it's okay to remind these politicians that, hey, politician, it's your job to hear the will of the people. And again, 50% of this population either is third party, non-affiliate, or chooses not to vote. That's a huge untapped power source of voters. Now, I know the Democrats and you, AOC, are too afraid to actually reach out, but maybe AOC, you can cross that Rubicon. You could cross that bridge, but maybe your schedule is just too busy. I get it. You have a Met Gala event to go to. You have another hyped up rally to go to. Debating third parties or independents. Maybe it's just too much for you to handle. Maybe it's because in the end, with all the lawsuits Democrats have to do, with all the legal things you're doing to get third parties off the ballot, maybe that's the only weapon you have because Democrats and AOC. Your chickens. Am I being mean? Yes. Because it's just too much for you guys to do. You don't have what it takes. And Democrats and liberals, AOC, Bernie, all of you who want to vilify third parties and independents, I say this from the bottom of my heart. I love you, but you are not serious people. Boy, I sure hope my audience doesn't say mean things about third parties. Say it again, Jill Stein, one more time.
Voting so we can actually vote for who we want and not against, the candidate that we hate the most. That leaves us entirely without a moral compass to direct our vision forward. I've been fighting for Medicare for all, for a real emergency Green New Deal, for rent control, and for so-called social housing. And what have you been fighting for, AOC? Used to hear about some of those issues when you started off, but sure haven't heard you much lately. All right. I hope we can continue this conversation. Thanks a lot. Bye.
To which I have to respond.
Oof. 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 Oof.
I know AOC would never do it. She don't got the stones to do it. But I also want to pull up something else here too, which is very disappointing. This is from Brianna Joy Gray. As long as the Democratic Party is openly rigging the election against third-party candidates, no third-party voter should feel a modicum of responsibility to vote for Democrats who save democracy from the orange boogeyman, Donald Trump. Oh, no. Oh, no. Everyone, hold on. Hold on, everybody. Here, liberals, this is my interpretation of you, and it's spot on. And if I'm being mean, so be it. Trump. Oh, no. Donald Trump. Donald Trump's going to come after freedom. We got to stop Trump. It's third party's fault. Hey, third parties, hey, third parties, listen. Be meaner to Democrats. And liberals, listen, liberals, Democrats. Grow a spine. Grow a sack. Get a heart. Get a soul. Because you don't have what it takes if you're afraid of the orange boogeyman. Donald Trump, I know this. Donald Trump is probably the most successful politician I've ever seen because he lives rent-free in liberals' minds. Probably they wake up at night with a cold sweat. Did you have the dream again, dear? Yes, it was Trump. He was chasing me again. And also, hold on, Angelo, you're right. Kit's chair looks like a jack-o'-lantern. Shame on you. That's being mean. That's offensive. That's very offensive. Shame on you. My chair identifies itself as a chair. Thank you very much. How dare you assume it? But look, hold on a little bit more on this because it's very, 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 very serious what's happening to the Greens in the great state of Nevada. The Nevada State Supreme Court has kicked the Green Party off the ballot in a win for the Democrats' war on democracy because Democrats, you don't got the stones to debate Green parties or libertarians or independents. The court ruled 5-2 that over the 29,000 signatures submitted by the Green Party in Nevada, almost 3 times the required number, when validated by a technicality. Oh, really? The fine print in the affidavit used by the petition circulators was incorrect. The same affidavits that the Democrats directed the Green Party to use for our petition effort. This is a slap in the face to democracy, to the rule of law, and to millions of voters in Nevada who are now denied a real choice by the machinations of a corrupt political elite. This is more of a shameless hypocrisy from the party that preaches about saving democracy while doing all it can to kill it. We face legal attacks from Democrats in state after state because, again, Democrats, it's all what you got. Listen, AOC and Democrats, I know you're scared, but it really says a lot when you're like, oh, I'm going to run to my lawyers. I'm running to the court. I mean, what? You're afraid of a debate? You're afraid of a real fight? I get it. I get it. Democrats, you've always were those kids. And yes, even Republican politicians too, because I'm going to include Republicans because Republicans and Democrats work together to stop third parties. Democrat and Republican politicians, you are those kids in the schoolyard that would tattletale to the teacher. Okay? Be like, teacher, teacher, teacher. Sometimes you got to fight. Remember that AOC when you went after MTG calling a girl, baby girl? Well, sometimes you got to fight. Just can't do that. Come on. Continuing on, the Democrats may have won this battle to prevent Nevada voters from having a choice, but it will not stop us from fighting for voters across the country who are disgusted with the Democrats' war on democracy. Please pitch in to help us run targeted campaign ads to turn out as many green votes as possible. Together, we can build the fight for an end to war and genocide, an economy that works for working people, and a just, livable future for our children. I also want to pull up this wonderful post that I saw on Twitter from post-duopolis dirtbag leftist. And this is how I feel because, God damn it, this entire weekend, I'm getting emails from Democrats. Kit, can you give us $3? Kit, can you give us $10? Kit, can you give us $20? Kit, Trump is outspending us. Yeah. Hey, Democrats, you know what? I'm Anna Kasparian. I'm taking this away from you. You give me money, Democrats. You give me money. Money me now. I want the money, Democrats. Give me, show. You know what? Hold on. My audience is probably going to say, no, kid, you got to do what's passion. Getting away from the mic. Everyone brace yourself. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money, Democrats. Give me the money. Asking me for money. Asking my audience for money. Gray Walker joined third party. Hold on. I love billionaires begging me for money. Yeah, give me money. So here's something from post-duopolis dirtbag left. Want to pull this up here, right here. Just got this text. How should I reply? All right. It says, hi, it's Bernie with the Democrat. Dude, you got Bernie Sanders to respond to you. That's cool. We are excited to invite you to the Harris Waltz campaign community event with Governor Tim Walz in Reno on Monday, September 9th. Can I count on you to join us? Stop to quit. To which he did respond, or, I don't know post-duopolis what they did say, but here was their response. You undemocratic F-wads just got the only person I would consider voting for kicked off the ballot. Go F yourselves. Delicious and nutritious and delicious. And I just got to say, that was absolutely beautiful. It was beautiful. So, no. Oh my God. Oh my God! No, this is not true, Roger. No. Hey, breaking news. Oh my God. No. I love my audience, so you have no idea how much I respect. Without all of you, me and Daniel cannot do this show. This is not planned. And so what I'm going to show you, we're going to go ahead and time travel, everybody. Time travel with old Kit Kat, and we can thank Sir Mr. Roger Meadows. I've never seen anything like this. I have never seen anything like this. Roger Meadows, you are a mad genius. You are beyond cool. And this is from Roger Meadows, by the way. I got to pull this up here. I want to do this properly right now. Ladies and gentlemen, just real quick, we're going to time travel. Hold on. I just want to rewind something that Jill Stein said. Again, I'm going to pull up this video. I'm sorry, folks. Just bear with me. This is pure gold. So first, I'm going to play the last 30 seconds of that video of Jill Stein calling out AOC.
Voting so we can actually vote for who we want and not against, the candidate that we hate the most. That leaves us entirely without a moral compass to direct our vision forward. I've been fighting for Medicare for all, for a real emergency Green New Deal, for rent control, and for so-called social housing. And what have you been fighting for, AOC? Used to hear about some of those issues when you started off, but sure haven't heard you much lately. All right. I hope we can continue this conversation. Thanks a lot. Bye.
So in that video, remember last week where AOC said that she was against Greens, and say they're a waste of time? That's not what you were doing, baby girl, in 2017. That's Gerari for City Council District number 5, I believe, or 35. There you go, 35. Green Party candidate and Democratic Socialist fighting for housing, economy, and education. And look, there she is. There she is, our little AOC. She was a Green. That's not what you did before. Wait a minute, AOC. Is a politician lying to us? Is a politician lying to us? Oh, hey, Roger, you got a homework assignment. I need everyone to tell Nick from RBN to kind of just for a laugh. I don't know if he'll do it on his show or not. Nick, you know what? Keaton from Due Dissidence, Russell from Jimmy Dore. I don't know if you guys noticed or not. Breaking news from Hard Lens Media. That's our AOC who was a Green. Look at her, all green behind the ears, that smile. Little would everyone know that I'd be a corporate sellout. Yo! Oh, that made my morning. Woo! It explains everything. Spread the word, people. Spread the word far and wide. In deep, no pullout. Isn't that special? And I think we're gonna end it here. That's our girl. AOC. Someone let Jill Stein know. All right. This is pure gold, and this is why I love my audience, because you guys and gals, you don't hold anything back, and that's why I love you. Never stop. And AOC, if you do have the time in your busy bee schedule, maybe take up Jill Stein at debate. And by the way, Jill, maybe you should remind AOC that she was once a Green. Maybe ask her, hey, did she think it was a waste of time back in the day in 2017? Type your thoughts about this recent revelation in the comment section below. This is pure gold. This is why I love my audience.